right, we are back in the horse corner. I am very tired. It has been a long few weeks since BreyerFest. Not going to go into details of that in this video. Don't think I could, but if you follow me on Instagram, gone into detail about what has been going on in my life since BreyerFest. So if I seem tired, maybe a little bit less than enthused in this video, it has absolutely no bearing on BreyerFest or my experience. I had such an amazing BreyerFest, amazing time at Nan, at the horse park, at the open show with all of my friends. It was so much fun. So if I am tired or if I don't seem to have my normal spark, has no bearing on my BreyerFest experience. It was by and large my favorite BreyerFest so far, and I came home with so many cool horses, which is what we're talking about in this video, so I'm going to try to focus on that. As you know, because you have read the title, this is going to be my BreyerFest haul. Everybody does these videos a little bit different by way of format. Mostly the way that I'm going to be able to show you things just reflects the way that they came home as far as like packaging and whether they were unpackaged at the horse park or in Kentucky or whether they're still in their packaging, and I'm going to like unpackage them with you guys or unbox them with you guys. Some of it I just haven't gotten to yet. It came home in the packaging and I truly just haven't touched it since Kentucky. So that stuff we get to go through together, which is kind of fun. And then some of it obviously traveled home in like pony pouches or bubble wrap, and that stuff I already have out. So there's a little bit of a combination of both. So we're kind of just gonna go through it as it is. And at the end of this, I will have a crap ton of unboxed and unpackaged horses that I have to put on my shelves. I also have another shelving unit now, so I actually have space, which is amazing. Ordered another shelving unit while I was in Kentucky and made a pretty face at husband Sam and said, could you please have this built by the time I get home? And it wasn't built when I got home, but it was built shortly thereafter, so I cannot complain. Also, I didn't have to build it at all, so I really can't complain at all. I did help a little bit, but he did most of it. So before we get into the actual haul itself, this is the most important thing. This was my signing model. It is an Athenian Lady. She's got all of the friendship bracelets that you guys all gave me, all of your signatures, and this is going to be my shadow box Athenian Lady. I'm going to do this box the same way that I did my shadow box Brevor 54 from last year, if you guys remember it. It had a hobby moment where like Breyer reshared it and it was really fun. And I'm a big scrapbooker, I'm a big shadow box person, and these boxes are literally a pre-made shadow box. So I will do a close-up of this right now, post-filming, when I have made this into a shadow box to talk about all the stickers and goodies that you guys made me. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's super fun to get new models at BreyerFest, but the most important part to me of BreyerFest and of the hobby is the community, and especially over the past few weeks, it's a community that has shown so much love and support for me and for each other, and that's embodied in that horse. So she's really special and in that box. So thank you all, and I can't wait to see you guys all again next year. It was so much fun. So, structure of the haul. First, I'm going to go through just a few items that I got that are not model related and not Shadow Box Athenian Lady related. First is the mug. This is the Gray Fox pottery that Breyer uses for their ceramics every year. It's a really pretty color this year. It's another purple. I have the mug from 2021, I think. The Horse of a Different Color one. It's like a turquoise. And then last year for Driving Forward, they did a bowl, which was so cool. I love my bowl. And then this year they did a mug again. So very pretty color with a little, the logo. Next, I wanted to show this little keychain, if you can see it. It's like a little crystal keychain with the NAMSA logo engraved in it, which is so beautiful. And it lights up. Hopefully you can see that. It lights up. It's so cool. And this was in, NAMSA put together a goodie bag for all of their volunteers at Nan. And this was part of that. And I thought this was such a nice gift. It came in like a little gift box and everything. Some of the other stuff was like more fun and like trinkety, like a koozie, and they had t-shirts and they had stickers. But I wanted to highlight this because I thought this was such a nice gift. It's so pretty. I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. It's way too pretty to go on my keychain. It would not last a month. And then, I'm so excited about this. I picked up the stable accessory set from Kenzie Williamson of Bridal Tree Studios. And she had shared some videos of this before BreyerFest, some like reels or TikToks of her completed kit. And I just thought this was so pretty. I had to have it for filming, for all of my model feature reels that I film. I was like, this would be so cute to put in my little like arena display, or, you know, I'm planning on building more sets in the future. And these would just go so cute. And she actually has free resources through her Patreon where you can learn how to paint them like she painted them in her content, which they're gorgeous. So yes, I would like mine to look like that too. So I still have to watch those. It's been crazy. But yes, I'm so excited about this. This is so cute. If you didn't see it, definitely go check out her profile where she has all of her painted pieces featured because they are so cool. Okay, and then just a couple of fun things. This was the Nan Program. It's gorgeous. It's printed on like photocopy paper, which is beautiful. I actually have an ad in here for CWS Model Horse Shows and Designs, so got a few of these. One to keep, one to kind of cut up and scrapbook. But this was super cool. And then of course, a BreyerFest program every year. Got a few of these, one to keep, one to scrapbook. And then a third program. This one you actually had to purchase through the Breyer store. This was a 35-year commemorative program, and it's so interesting. This is the type of stuff that I love. It has pages in here that detail all of the models that were sold of, I believe, from the last 10 years of BreyerFests, their quantities, their any variations. So interesting. Definitely worth paying a couple bucks for something like this, I think. So just, for example, pretty cool. Yeah, so this was a cool find. Did not know they were going to do anything like this. So I came home with 3 programs. And then if you know me, you know that every year I go to BreyerFest, I try to keep one celebration horse for sure, the new in the box one that I use kind of as a memory keepsake. I put tickets, goodies in that box from that year's BreyerFest. And then if it's a mold that I collect, I unbox one and I keep it in my collection. It was a Dundee. Athenian Lady was a Dundee. So of course, I'm going to keep one for my collection. This is the one I picked out of four that I got. They all looked really nice to me. It was hard to pick one to kind of decide to add to my herd and unbox, but this was the one I decided on. Here she is. I will unbox her and show her in a minute, but I want to go through all of the new in-box horses first, all of the limited editions that I got as well. Okay, next, this one should be pretty obvious. I had to get an Always Chipper. I love Newsworthy, so I was so excited that we got another store special Newsworthy. We just got Top Gun in 2020, and then we have another one in 2024. So had to get this guy. I actually know some of his former people, or at least know of the program that he was a part of for a long time. have seen him at horse shows, so of course I had to get him. I handpicked this guy pretty painstakingly, so I'm excited to see him out of the box. I looked at probably hundreds of this guy in the Breyer store and settled on this one, so I'm gonna unbox him and then I will report back. Okay, and then last, for the store specials or limited editions of the traditional scale, was Gasan. I love this mold. His color is pretty simple, but I do love this mold, and I love his little pink nose. Very cute. Also handpicked this guy, maybe not as painstakingly as I handpicked Always Chipper. I was very picky about Always Chipper. This guy, there just wasn't as much to be picky about, because he's mostly just bare plastic. So I did handpick him, I did look through quite a few of them, and I settled on this one, but there were kind of a few that I probably could have walked out with and have been just as happy as I am with this guy. So I will unbox those 3 and then report back. All right, here they are, all unboxed. What took seconds for you took many, many minutes for me. So they all look lovely. I will say I'm very happy with my Always Chipper. My painstaking hand picking, I think, paid off. He's very crisp. One of the common issues that I saw with him was this marking on his mane not being very crisp, not being crisply masked off. So I got really picky about making sure that mine had a very crisp neck marking, and he does. And the rest of him looks very good too, so I'm very happy with him. He was kind of the one that I cared the most about out of this trio. I also think I picked a quite nice Athenian Lady. She is shaded very nice, she's very crisp, so I'm happy with her. I will say my Gasan is pretty messed up, but that's okay. They don't all have to be show models. He can just sit on my shelf. He's got some pretty significant issues in his paint, in the gray. Some of it is actually peeling off. So I know that they're not going to replace him. Don't expect them to, but he's probably just gonna sit on the shelf unless I can get him repaired. And that's fine. So here are these 3. And then I honestly don't remember why I already unboxed them, but I did get the Best of BreyerFest set for this year, which was a set of mini raffle models, which was so much fun. These are the 3 that I plan on keeping from the set. So it was Mini Woodford, Mini King Arthur, and Mini Bonaire. And then there was a Mini Kick Up Your Heels, and a Mini Tacoma. Those 2 are actually going to be used as raffle prizes in my photo show this month, CWS Better Together. It was my July photo show. So they're actually about to go get shipped off to their new home, but the 3 in the front I do plan on keeping. This was such a good set this year, and I very easily could have picked between a number of nice ones that I saw in the store. They all looked really nice. But I'm perfectly happy with the one that I got. No serious issues at all. They all look really, really nice. So I'm excited about them. All right, so next I want to do my special runs. And this is where it's going to get a little interesting because I have unboxed or unpackaged 3 of them. I have many more in a giant bag that you can't see. But I unpackaged a few because I had a couple extra pony pouches coming home and I was trying to make more room. We were a loaded truck on the way home, so just for logistics, I unboxed or unpackaged a few of them from their original packaging, put them in pony pouches, and then put those in totes. But many of them have not left their BreyerFest packaging yet at all, and some of them have, so I could look at them and then I put them back. So we're gonna unpackage a bunch of stuff together, but first let me show you the few that I did unpackage. And if you watched my video from June, I think, I talked about all my thoughts and opinions about the models, so I'm not gonna go into that right now. Go watch that video if you care. So we're just gonna go through the models. Well, we can kind of talk about the variations. There weren't that many significant variations this year, which I'm thankful for. Thank you, Breyer. But yeah, we'll talk about the variations, but I'm not going to talk about my thoughts and opinions because I already did that ad nauseum in June. Okay, so first, this is my fight song. Love this guy. His color is really nice in person. I got the one with the base, which I was happy for. I like the base. I know a lot of people don't like the base. That's okay. I like it. So I was glad to get this one because he matches my Adonis. The variation on this guy was that there is now a variation of this mold that has a long tail where he doesn't need a stand, kind of like silver. Besides that, they were the same. I probably don't feel the need to have both at any point in my life unless the right situation arises, but I'm probably not going to actively seek out the other one. I like the stand perfectly well, and yeah, he's nice. I haven't gotten to look at him or any of these guys a whole lot, but he's very cool. I like him. I did put him next to my Adonis, saw them together since I had him unpackaged. That was cool. Okay, and then next, sorry not sorry. I don't have a stand for him because he was just in his rack up there on the shelf, but here he is. The split on this guy was matte gloss, which was interesting. Normally, I think this was maybe the first time they've ever advertised a glossy and then made that the matte glossy split, question mark. I could be wrong, but it's definitely not something they do all the time. I still got the gloss, which I think I'm happy about. I didn't really care, I don't think. This is one where I could definitely see myself picking up a matte later down the road because I love Salinero, so I would love to have both variations of this guy someday. But I think I got a nice copy. He's got some nice splattering and his spots are all very crisp. He's got some mottling around his eyes and his nose, which I'll show you guys in a close-up later, but he's very cool, very happy about him. He still is my favorite special run this year. And then, as you all know at this point, Emerson, or Winx, was the surprise horse. So this is the Chestnut Sabino variation. Yeah, Breyer got me. They got me good with this. Winx was not even on my radar. And I collect Emerson, obviously. So I was screwed. They got me good again. I got a reprieve with Hamilton and then they're back at it picking molds that I collect. So here's the first one. You will see what I was able to acquire. And you guys know too, I'm not a big glossy surprise horse person. I just don't really care enough to acquire the glossy versions. The glossy versions are nice. If I was to pull one, great. I more just like to collect all the colors. So this was my favorite color, the Chestnut Sabino, and that was one that I pulled with one of my 4 tickets. All right, and then those were the only 3 that I unpackaged. The rest we get to unpackage together. All right, this is a surprise. And it is also quite literally a surprise because I don't know which one this is. I do know what colors I have, but I don't know which of those this is. Okay. This is the Appaloosa. I like this color. It wasn't my favorite. I felt like the spots were maybe a little bit big for my personal taste, but it's still very cute and I still like it a lot, and I think with the right reference, it'll be fine. That one's probably my second favorite color. I'll have to rank them all when I have them next to each other. Was that a spoiler? Maybe it was. Another surprise! Oh, I like legitimately have not opened this one at all. So this is the Bay with the Gastro Plume. And he's actually quite nice. Sorry, it's Winx. I think this is a pretty nice copy. It's got some nice shading. Another surprise! Oh, I haven't opened this one either. Oh, yes. I love this one. You guys are going to be like, Sam, you love that one? Doesn't that go against all of your principles? This one. He's so cool. We'll talk about it. Let me get them all out first. The last surprise. we have a full matte set. So that was what I wanted. That's always what my goal is when the surprise horse is a mold that I collect. I just want one of every color. I just like the different colors. If I pull a glossy, great. I'm typically not gonna go out of my way to get a glossy. I just like to have the variety of colors. I think it's fun. So that is what I did here. One of every realistic color. You guys know I'm not a deco collector. I'm not a clearware collector, so the green one was not for me, but that's okay. Plenty of people liked him. Her. Maybe I'll get that right by the end of the video. So, favorite colors. Chestnut Sabino by far is my favorite. I love the Perlino, and that is weird for me. You guys know I don't love pearly models typically. I don't like the Cal Surprise Perlino. I don't like Uffington. Neither one of those. No thank you. They just were not for me. Lots of people like them. Great, they can have them. They were not for me. I love this. I don't quite know why that is. Something about this, it almost doesn't feel like they intentionally took a color that's not inherently pearly and made it pearly. This feels like it's the right amount of pearl to properly depict a Perlino to me. And both Uffington and the Cal Surprise to me were too much pearl for what they were supposed to be. Those are my thoughts and opinions on it. This one is not like crazy shimmery like Trueno, who, trying to find him, you know, and I like him, he's nice. I still have one, but this feels like just the right amount of pearl to actually represent a realistic Perlino, in my opinion. She's also got really nice realistic shading. It's not just a flat pearl. Her nose is pinked in a very distinguishable way from the rest of her color, which, you know, a lot of times Breyer pinking will be more of this yellowy color, but she actually has true pinking around her nose and her eyes, which I appreciate a lot. And there's just a lot of really nice details on this horse. The mane and tail are actually white. They didn't just plaster this whole thing in the same color, which they so easily could have. But the mane and tail are actually different shades than the rest of this horse. And she does actually have stockings that are very crisply masked off. And I appreciate that. I appreciate all those little details that make it feel like we just didn't get one solid pearly horse. This actually feels like a Perlino color that you would see on a horse that comes in this color. So I appreciate the elements of that horse that make her more realistic. Off my soapbox about Perlinos. So I love the Sabino, I love the Perlino. As I'm sitting here, I'm realizing that I like the Overo quite a bit more than I thought that I was going to. He's actually really nice, and I know exactly what I'm going to show this horse as, and I've got reference photos in mind and everything, and his shading is really cool, so I do like him. He is probably tied with the Appy for me for third, and then the Wild Bay with the Gastro Plume is probably my least favorite out of this group, but I love them all. They're so cool, like such fun colors. I love Emerson, Winks. There's so many things that you can do with this mold besides just thoroughbred, and I think that these colors will make people get creative with them. I know I'm gonna have to get creative. I've got some ideas, but yeah, well done. Well done, Breyer, you got me good, and I love them. And then I got these two from Friends. So thank you, Friends. I'm super happy with these guys. Oh, yes. All right, next is the Quag. I love her. She's so cute. You guys know my thoughts about the Quagga and how the spirit of the Quagga came over me like a week before BreyerFest, and I was like, or maybe a month before BreyerFest, and I was like, I need her. So here she is. She does not disappoint. She is so cute. She's modern chalky, and there's not a flaw on that model. That might be one of the nicest models I came home with as far as like condition. She's gorgeous. And now I have something else to show in the long years and exotics class because I only have one donkey right now, so. The Quag. All right, another special run. All right, this is Edge of Glory. This is another one that I'm not gonna show, and that's fine. I wanted him anyways. It is kind of a cool color. I still am of the opinion that this is not a realistic color, but it's nice, it's fun, and another variant of gray in my Ash Quar lineup will be super fun. It's a very unique color, and I still do quite like it. It's just not one that I plan on showing. But he's very cool. His gloss is very nice, and I think he's gonna live for the moment back here. Oh, I love this one. Okay. This one and the Quagga, honestly, I think are my favorite special runs as far as like quality wise goes. He's still my favorite overall, I think, but I was the most surprised and impressed with the Quagga and then this one. Okay, this is Miss Independent, who is on the mare version of the True North mold, and I wanted to get her because I collect True North, but I'm always threatening to sell my True North Conga, and she makes me not want to because, hello cat, because she is so pretty. This color is stunning. Her shading is amazing. Her little horseshoes are so cute. Her leg barring, like all of her details are so nice. And I was just kind of expecting her to be like, oh, that's a done True North. Cool, that's nice, but I am actually really impressed with her. Both her and the Quagga really caught me off guard in the best way. The only ones left are the biggest ones, and I don't know where they're going to go. I'm like low-key gonna have to like clear off a shelf to do a whole haul picture, I fear. She's so pretty. All right, here she is. This is Fighter and Survivor. I haven't unboxed a baby yet, but big girl. She is gorgeous. I haven't really looked at her very well yet, and she's just very impressive, very pretty. Here she's going back here, where you can't really see her. You can't see me either, so it doesn't really matter. From what I've seen of the baby, I believe I got a pretty dark one, which is cool. I've seen quite a few of them turn out a little bit lighter than this, so I'm happy with him. His markings are very crisp. Mama seems about like how the other ones have come out, which is all beautiful. She's got nice shading, and she does have some dapples on her offside, which is a nice touch. I'm just excited to have another color, a solid color, on this mold. You can kind of appreciate the details of the mold more, I think, when it's a solid color. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. So here they are. This is the best we're gonna get by way of a full special run shot. But here they are. I also got a plush. I forgot about him. Percy. We have space again. I got organized and it feels so nice. Okay. Up to this point, we have gone through all the models that I purchased from Breyer for BreyerFest this year. They've all been 2024 horses you could buy in some capacity or another. The next section is kind of a combined section of Clarion purchases as well as models that I won while I was at BreyerFest. So there's not really a good order to do this in. I'm kind of gonna go by run count, if that makes sense. You'll see all of them regardless in some kind of an order. First, I got a Rushmore from my friend Hallie, and I love him. I've always wanted him. I think that this color is so nice. If you know me, you know that I love a bay roan, and this is probably one of my favorite bay roans that Breyer has ever done. It is such a nice color. He's got nice speckling in his coat that like looks like roaning. He's got dapples. The gradient between his darker face and lighter body is just very nice. I'm really happy with him. I'm excited to show him, and yeah, I didn't buy much from the Clarion this year in terms of quantity. You'll see why, but I'm happy to have this guy. He's really cool. Keeping to the quantity order here, kooky. The next two horses are horses that I won, or horses that I traded for horses that I won. We'll talk about it. Okay, so first, this one's exciting. This is Glossy Glossy ZB. I won this girl at the BreyerFest Open show. I actually won her in like one of the first calls of the day, which was absolutely insane. I still haven't quite wrapped my brain around that moment. I won her in the Stablemates Collectors class. I was second place in that class with my entry, and yeah, crazy. I did a whole write-up on it on my Instagram, so if you want a much longer description, it's out there, but was not expecting that at all. Was expecting entries with more vintagey type models to kind of take the judge's attention. Wasn't expecting my entry with much more modern but still super limited horses to really get the kind of attention that it did. This is such an honor. This was such an honor to do that well in a class like that, you know, literally anyone can enter. The Stablemates Collectors class is an open class, so anyone can enter it. It's not like restricted to novices only. It is literally anyone can enter, and I do them for fun. I do them because I enjoy organizing creatively, and that's kind of where my creative side can come out a little bit. I'm not an artist, so any sort of like painting or sculpting, not me. I'm not good at it. I don't have the patience for it, but I'm organizationally very creative, so those types of classes are right up my alley. I find them super fun, but I only ever enter because I enjoy them. So this was very unexpected for me, and definitely like a hobby career highlight, if that's even a thing. My ribbon is sitting right over there, and I just like if that ribbon wasn't there and I didn't have this horse, I don't know if I would actually believe that it happened. Definitely not something I'm gonna forget anytime soon. So Glossy Zorabelle, this is the copy that I won. This is the copy that's staying in my collection. I will kind of talk about why that's relevant with the next horse, but here she is. I will unbox her after I go through the next horse, and then I will unbox them together. So the situation is this. I won Glossy Zorabelle in the Stablemate Collectors class, which was one of the first calls of the day. So I was like, oh my gosh, my open show was made. Like, I don't need to do anything else the rest of the day. I had a great open show. I won her in the collector's class. My other collector's class entry, which was in the novice class, won 5th place, so I also won a ribbon for that, which was also such an honor and amazing. And it was actually fun because both of the ribbons that I won had pink in them, which I thought was like, oh, went with the theme, the whole pink pony theme that kind of arose this year. And then in the first section of the day, I had a horse take a sectional champion. My regular run Theo took sectional grand champion and regular run draft. So I also won a Glossy Full Moon Rising. I don't collect strapless. I'm not a strapless girly, which is fine. Plenty of people are. So I was able to actually, and it kind of came up after the fact, after I had seen what people were looking for and had people reach out about her, and kind of decided like in the ballpark of what I was trying to trade for her. Basically, I traded my Full Moon Rising. This was through friends and getting other people what they wanted too. I traded my Full Moon Rising, my Glossy Full Moon Rising, for a second copy of this girl that I then traded with a friend for a Glossy Athenian Lady. So, roundabout ways, through two different trades and helping two different people get the glossy prize models they wanted, I was able to essentially trade my Glossy Full Moon Rising for a Glossy Athenian Lady. She was the diorama contest prize for this year, and I really wanted one of these. I did enter the diorama contest. I loved my diorama contest entry. You've also hopefully at this point seen some clips on that and how I built that. I was super proud of my entry. It didn't win anything, but it was featured on the website, which was cool and also an honor. And I still have it, and I had fun doing it. I really got into my theme, and I really, really love this model in gloss. I don't normally care too much about glossy versions. We've talked about that, but I just love this horse in gloss. I thought especially this shade of chestnut in gloss was quite yummy. So I was able to roundabout, because of the open show and having such a good day at the open show, I was able to get one of these. So I have a Glossy Zorabelle and the Glossy Athenian Lady, and I'm so excited. Both of them are staying in my collection. Winning this one and then essentially trading for this one through winning something at the open show. So the open show essentially got me these two horses, I guess is what I'm trying to say, which is amazing. I'm so excited, and I haven't unboxed them yet. I have waited, so I'm gonna unbox them right now. First, we have Glossy ZB, who is so pretty in gloss. She's so nice. She's really dark. Her dorsal stripe, nice and straight. This color looks so nice in gloss. I'm so thrilled with her. We have Glossy Lady, who is also just lovely in gloss. Nice, thickly glossed ponies. They're both so nice. I'm very excited, super honored to have both won and then inadvertently won these two. So excited. So like I had said, I did not purchase a large quantity of Clarion horses this year. I went for much more limited run counts in smaller quantities versus kind of just going into the Clarion like a bull in the china shop and buying whatever I could off my list as I found it at what I thought to be good deals and so on. I went into BreyerFest only anticipating buying 3 horses at the Clarion. Rushmore from my friend Hallie, and then I had a horse that I was putting the final payment on and picking up, and then I had a horse that I was going to try to purchase from a contest winner on Saturday night. So those were the 2 horses. The last 2 horses I have to show you guys. They ironically are both the exact same run count, which I did not realize beforehand. I knew what the run counts were, I just didn't draw the connection there. So without further ado, the horse that I was picking up was Cloverleaf. Cloverleaf was the, and if I'm wrong I'll put it on the screen, but I believe he was the open show overall grand prize model from 2018, and there are 12 of him made. So he is one of only 12, which makes him the most limited horse, along with my other run of 12 that I'll show you in a second, in my collection. So I went into BreyerFest with the most limited run in my collection being 48, that's Duwamish, and came out with 2 runs of 12, which is crazy. I'm so excited about him. He has been in the works since March and was finally able to get my mitts on him after knowing that I was in the process of adding him since March, since I actually worked out the purchase of him while I was at BreyerFest. So I've been sitting on this one for a while, and he was actually kind of a little bit of a kismet moment. The woman that I bought him from won him via the collector's class in 2018, and then I picked him up from her Wednesday evening, and then Friday morning I showed him as part of my novice collector's class entry at the open show, which did also win a ribbon. It won the 5th place ribbon. So I thought that was a kind of cool full circle moment for him and for her. So here he is. This is Cloverleaf. Very excited to have him. He's my first overall BreyerFest show prize. The model that I was so hoping to be able to purchase, this was kind of my biggest like quote unquote gamble that I didn't have secured going into BreyerFest. This is I Forgot That You Existed, who was the Best Customs Contest finalist prize, I think is the proper language. If not, I'll put it on the screen. He wasn't the winner's prize. He was you were either the runner-up or the second runner-up type situation. He's what you won if you were a finalist, but not the winner of each class. Obviously the winner won the traditional, and he is not that. But he is on the Murado mold, and he's this gorgeous, gorgeous, fiery chestnut, Sabino-esque color. It's the original Murado pattern, just with a different base coat, which is what they do with the Best Customs Contest prize models. I'm so happy to have him. He is also a run of 12, so he is by and large my rarest mini now in my collection. I'm very happy to have him. He was like my I really, really, really wanted to come home with him from BreyerFest. He was the one thing. Even if nothing else happened for me all weekend, I really wanted to come home with one of those. And the woman that I got him from was so kind and so nice. And it was another really nice full circle moment because, you know, she had to fly to BreyerFest, and selling him paid for her plane tickets. And that's great. That's an expensive flight. Like, I don't have to fly to BreyerFest. I'm lucky enough to where it's like barely a 5-hour drive for me. But I did have to fly to BreyerWest, and so I kind of have an understanding of what an undertaking it is to have to fly somewhere for a hobby event, and it's a lot. Like, that's a big commitment. So, yeah, just to be able to like not only get what I want, but also know that by selling this horse, it helped her actually be able to come to BreyerFest and like be a part of that. It was just a nice full circle moment. It all pays back into each other in our little hobby economy and hobby community, which is always a nice feeling too. Shark is here. You cannot go on the table right now. No, that would be an expensive mistake. So there they are, my 2 runs of 12 who make me incredibly nervous. Yeah, I haven't called my insurance agency yet, and I need to. They might make me a little bit less nervous after I have that phone call. All right, so here are the horses from this segment. We've had 3 different segments now, I think. 4, maybe? I don't know, I'm losing count. But here are the Clarion purchases and the prize models from this year's BreyerFest. So I figured each one of these guys could have their own little moment here, since they are each pretty cool and I'm very excited about them. This is I Forgot That You Existed, the Best Customs Contest finalist prize in all of his glory. He is such a fiery chestnut and has some really cool shading going on. He is a little metallic, but you know me, he's not too pearly or else he wouldn't have been my cup of tea. So I love him, and I'm very excited to take him to some shows this fall. He'll fit right in with all the fall colors and all of the spooky pumpkin themed show prizes this fall. Next we have Glossy Zorabelle, who was the open show sectional reserve champion model this year, and she's just lovely. She's got a nice thick coat of gloss on her, and this color actually looks so cool in gloss. You never know. Sometimes I prefer colors in matte to gloss, but I don't know, I really like this one in gloss. She's pretty cool. And because I don't really have another segment for him to go in with, Rushmore gets his own feature too. So here he is, close up. You can see kind of some of that speckling in his roning that I was talking about that I think is so cool. And I am also very excited to have added him this year. We have Mr. Cloverleaf, who, despite being maybe not the flashiest color or the most intricate patterned horse, he has Lucy. No! He has some of the coolest shading I think I've ever seen on a Breyer chestnut model. It is so cool and so in-depth and varied across his coat. I can't wait to get pictures of him and to see him next to horses like Saffron and the Orin Mixer quarter horse, just to compare and contrast. I love them all in their own right, and you know, my chestnut quarter horse Orin Mixer sure isn't going anywhere, but it is very interesting to see the differences between the two. And lastly, we have Glossy Athenian Lady, who is so lovely. I'm very much in love with this horse in gloss. Ever since I saw her pictures from Breyer, I knew that I wanted to add her eventually. I'm very excited and happy and grateful that that was able to happen this year when she was released and not later down the road. So I'm very happy to have this girl. She is lovely. Cookie brought us his ice cream. Oh, that's nice. Wow. What a nice moment. Thank you for your ice cream. Alright folks, there it is, a whole haul clip. That's a lot of ponies. Thank you, Breyer, for Emerson being the surprise horse and taking up an entire shelf of this haul. I think without the surprise horses, I could have fit them all onto the table and wouldn't have needed to do the double shelf situation that we have going on here, but I shouldn't complain, they are beautiful. So this is it. This is my BreyerFest 2024 haul. Some really cool ponies. I had such a great time. Great experiences, great purchasing opportunities, and yeah, it was a great year this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to top it or not. I feel like maybe I said that last year. Maybe that's something I will say every year, but like honestly, I don't know. I don't quite know how I'm going to top this. So anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging with me through this whole long video. I am going to try to get out a BreyerFest experience video. It'll probably be a bit though. That does take a lot of editing, and I don't have a lot of time to put into projects like this at this point in my life. Over the next few months, my life's going to be pretty crazy, but I will do my best to get it out eventually. Thanks everyone. I will see you in the next one.